I don't know, and I thought me and you was none of them, but at least me and you was
Cool.
like this. I don't know now.
We're like this.
Yesterday you felt some type of way.
Huh?
Yesterday you felt some type of way.
Stop bothering my people.
I just sat down and a big old snake bug flew away.
Which one are you letting?
Yeah.
It felt
I
like,
flicked it
I
that way.
just want y'all to know, when y'all see me fly out of here, because I don't care what kind of bug, I'm gone. They was like, oh, there's that stink.
it's gonna be crawling on the monitor.
What's this vote tally board?
Huh?
What's the vote tally board? Budget tonight?
No.
That's your request is, yeah. You're okay.
What is it? What?
It's so you can still request to speak on the right. So
Oh, but
your
this
button-
here,
That's always there.
you just double screened it for me?
Yes.
Man, you're smarter than you look.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa.
That was an insult.
That's not, I didn't say you look dumb, but you look
It's
intelligent.
okay.
You look intelligent, man, now you
Here,
look smarter.
so it's fine.
Yes, you go right tell them, that guy over there, you go down there. Say something to him.
And he don't.
No, really, I don't.
I have to put my spit bucket over here. She don't like it when I spit over here.
All right,
Pretty good. How's it going?
everything good?
All good.
Gonna speak to it tonight?
I'm gonna try to wrap it up quickly for you guys. You got all about these.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
We're here first, we go first. Is that how you guys go?
I wish, because we'd be going first.
See, that works. I think you're fourth.
Oh.
Isn't he?
Actually, last. We're not
But we
getting.
didn't make the list.
But they always let the good news last.
Yeah.
Now wait, in the past, we always get here early and negotiate.
Yeah, you can negotiate with Donald.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Can we do rock, paper, scissors? You just flip it and say, we had it. Oh, we flipped it the other way.
Yeah, whatever works. Did you bring any treats?
No, not
Oh,
tonight.
I was gonna say, we're used to
Maybe.
this way.
Maybe if I'm in the number one position. If I'm in the number one position, maybe. Wait, what do I got?
For each,
I think so.
I got more of
some
these.
pins.
I got pins.
Is this gonna show all the budgets that we're gonna look at tonight?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you just gotta
Plus
scroll down.
everything. That's the whole overview.
The mayor's
That's
is
everyone.
probably the longest. The longest would be CWLP on Thursday.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be the quickest. You
Guess
know.
what? I'm gonna be in Biloxi.
Yeah, these things are rules.
Good for you. Yeah.
I'm leaving it tonight and going and getting,
Oh,
going
nice.
home and pack, and I'm leaving tomorrow for New Orleans for 4 days, and then I'm going to Biloxi for another 4 days. See my daughter. I'm gonna go see where Eric Cahill got arrested there in Ocean Springs, right next to Biloxi.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, he got arrested in 22 down there for disorderly conduct. That's what lost his driver's license.
That's smart.
Not that I know
Yeah.
all that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, hey, if somebody doesn't want to go first
Okay.
or second, I'll go.
You're there.
I'm
We
stepping
got
in.
it. Okay.
So, who's chairing this thing?
Well, frankly, I think the mayor was
Don?
like
Oh,
fourth,
yeah.
and now she's first. So somebody already stepped in.
Well, okay. I guess I'll give that to the mayor. That's how we're wrong.
Just saying.
Oh, so she flipped us. Okay.
Everybody
I
always-
can handle that, actually.
Everybody likes to hear your presentation because you always bring money to us.
I go true.
Don't forget the Lincoln pins.
Oh, the Lincoln pens.
I don't think I'm done. You guys need one? I really have one. I wasn't gonna hold them against you just because you didn't have that.
We have them from last time. We're kidding.
All right.
Are they different?
No. These Route 66 ones are.
Mine's probably still in that drawer down there.
Oh, I bet it is. I've never seen you wear it. That's right. Cox said, he always wants more of them. He's like,
Cox probably sold it.
what's going on? That women's professional baseball is pretty exciting.
Rare. He
Is it coming for sure?
Pretty exciting.
Get 1 year for sure, and they're.
1 year, yeah.
Are they doing anything
Talking
now?
about a second year.
Are they doing anything out there now? Or is it too cold?
No, there's nothing. Everything's shut down right now.
Are they gonna do the turf this year?
It's not gonna happen till October because we don't have enough time.
It's-
High school baseball starts in March.
Oh, they're still letting them do that?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it nice to have, North Peoria Road paved, 9th Street? Oh my
Well, they
gosh,
just keep it like that.
holy cow.
It only lasts for a couple of years. There's so
Yeah,
many
but-
trucks that come down there.
Yeah, but still.
But chuck off right off Congress and 9th Street, man, when you turn to come south, I mean, it was horrible.
Well, down South, 9th Street down here, South Grand's bad. Every morning I come that way from work.
Yeah, that's how it was over there, but
You probably saw Pickett put on social, maybe you didn't, that Shay's gas station, he's, willing to sell it if there's a buyer. But,
is that right?
I mean, our agreement stays in place, so, I mean, nothing goes wrong there, but I'm just saying he's willing
I
to.
think somebody.
There's no
buy that
profit.
up.
You just have to have a lot of money and don't wanna do anything.
Correct, that's basically what it is. Like, if you want a place to hang out and,
Right.
I used to hang out
I
there
mean,
when I was a kid, when Shay was there.
it probably
Man, they
needs,
used to buy
Yeah,
candy
right.
shells from him,
oh yeah,
you know?
it probably needs 50,000, if not more, inside,
Does it?
maybe a little
Yeah.
bit more. That's where you're gonna get it, so if somebody wants to do something inside, they're still gonna have to put some money into it.
Could you make it a coffee shop or something?
Yes, you could.
Sure you could.
There's some asbestos inside, and there's some other stuff.
We can get that taken care of.
Yeah, yeah, I think.
We just don't recognize it.
Put right over it.
Paint over that.
Carpeting. Put some
Paint over that.
Carpeting and paint the walls.
Exactly.
Y'all left them. Yeah, it's just all over the first yell. Yeah, now you get it, why you left it, from in the back. Yeah. I can do what I have. I'm just getting over it. Definitely good. Okay, now, got you laughing. Okay. No. Between. How fast can you get it?
We used to get here in jockey.
Plus, we're gonna give them 2 minutes between each person. I'm gonna stop the recording. I'm gonna do separate recordings for different departments.
In between presentations?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it'll be separate recordings for every department. So it'll continuously, okay?
So bring it down, which that'll be in the background. Is that how you want it?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
to flash that up before the next presentation?
yeah. Yeah, flash, what's the, like, for example.
What's up, bud? Chuck, what's up?
Over with, whoever's next, put it up there.
Oh, okay.
So that I can zoom in on it.
Okay. So
And
now
I can start recording. That, like, of whoever.
Huh?
Hey, real quick.
Go on and get started. All right, and
It's all administrative costs, or is it parts?
Oh, okay.
if I knew I was gonna get loud,
No,
I
it
would have
is.
kept my
Now you would.
agree
I
with
said,
the
my
mold
mother shut that
down
thing
there.
down.
Back to every department.
Budget for mold.
There you go.
Go to
Speak from the mics above.
places.
Well, I think we talked to
Yeah, I
vendors
know.
around the city and found out that if we could, they would take on anything we had and would put it about half the price.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good campaign thing, right?
What's up?
Yeah.
City clerk, let's see here.
What's wrong, guys?
Say what?
City clerk, let's see. Quit making $300, are you kidding me?
I can't even tell you what the for. Our biggest expense is buying paper for all those licenses. Yeah, we have to buy certain legal paper.
You
for
went
them.
here last night, was you?
Very expensive.
Yeah. Last weekend.
That's commodities.
One day, plus, you know, I think that's what you were talking about, you sent out that notice there, about 82,000.
Yeah, that, otherwise my budget's 1% under last year. And with that, I'm 2.5% up over softwares, we're not sure exactly what it's gonna be. I put 30,000 in there, maybe 50, you know, so if I do, I have to bring it back to you. But they say, we're not spending that money, I said, that's okay, I'll take it out of your budget. You all good?
We are all good.
Anything good going on? This time tomorrow, I'll be in southern Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation for 10 days.
Where at?
Go with Judge Trump and her husband. We're going to New Orleans for 4 days, and then I'm going to, my daughter's is the vice commander for the hospital down at Keesler Air Force Base.
Okay.
My daughter Carrie. So we're gonna go visit her for a while, and then we come home.
Well, that'll be
My
fun.
wife we like to do vacations in January, February, get out of this cold weather.
We're going to Siesta Key for week of President's Day.
You go where?
Siesta Key. It's
Oh, yeah.
Sarasota.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing that for a couple days in
Good.
February when we're off.
Well, I got like 464 days to go, and after that, my wife and I are gonna travel.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah,
You're not counting it, right?
it's on my calendar. Down calendar. Hey, don't mess up that tape on the floor.
Yeah.
That's funny, Greg.
Yes.
Your light's on your phone, your like flashlight. I see it through your pocket.
I turned the lights off in my office too soon, and the light
I
came
can just,
out.
your pocket was shining.
No, I got you. I'll protect it.
Boy, some of them church you just can't get away with it.
What's that?
The light in your pocket.
I can't see you in the light, let alone in the dark.
And we're gonna not move to adjourn. Recess the budget hearings.
I used to like this.
Good question, though.
Is that? Yep.
Cannot tomorrow. Out tomorrow. Yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry, see me.
Thank you, ma'am. I did not wear my coat walking over here. It is cold out there.
It is. Damn, it's.
It was much warmer this morning when I left the house at 6 in the morning. It has dropped since 6 a.m. How are you ladies this evening? Good.
That's underused out there, you know?
Oh, when I was in high school.
Well, it was close for you.
When I grew up out there, yeah, but like,
Well, we used to go out there during
bring that on.
senior skip day.
That's why I bring that all back.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. It's not. You too. You too. You guys are going.
I won't roll backwards. Good, how are you? I promise not to roll backwards on you.
Thanks.
We got breakfast before you leave.
Mr. Chair. You're on. 2-minute break between each department, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, what, just give it back, give it back afterwards, I'll keep it and give it to you each time.
Okay, thank you.
What is it?
Just the schedule of how we're gonna.
One minute out. 1 minute.
You ready, Tony?
Let's do it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, 5:30 having arrived, I will call the budget workshop to order. If you'll join me, rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. For the record, Mr. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Alderman Cox. Here. Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford.
Here.
Alderwoman Purchase. Alderwoman Netriano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here.
Alderwoman Conley.
Present.
Alderman Donlin.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer. Here. Mayor Busher.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk, and thank you, everyone, for being here this evening, and appreciate you all being a part of the budget process for 2026, for FY 2027. This evening, we will hear from the Office of Budget and Management. They will provide the overview. Then we will hear from the Treasurer's Office, the City Clerk, the City Council Coordinator's Office, the Mayor's Office, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I just will remind you, my colleagues, if you have a question, please click your button, and we'll try to get to you as soon as possible. Appreciate the directors for keeping in mind that we're here to learn about what's in the budget. If you want to talk about what you've done, if you could keep that extremely concise. If an alderman, alderperson needs to have a in-depth understanding of last year, let's try to get in touch with the directors and flush those things out. I'm not saying we can't ask questions about that, but we're here to learn about what's in the budget that could support, and this is one of the most important documents and ordinances that we are all involved with. I appreciate the mayor and her office and all your due diligence in giving us enough time to take a look at it. And this is something that maps not only our near future, but has ramifications on future fiscal years. So on that note, Director, thank you very much for being here, and the floor is yours.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, Council, for the opportunity to kick off the first night of our budget hearings. I'm Ramona Metzger, the Director of the Office of Budget Management, and tonight I'll provide an overview of the city's general fund, focusing primarily on the corporate fund. The corporate fund and library fund are the two operating funds within the general fund. And the general fund is the general operating fund of the city. It's used to account for all financial resources, except those required to be accounted for in another fund, such as the sewer fund, Oak Ridge Cemetery, Department of Public Utilities, TIF funds, just to name a few. The corporate fund is the primary fund within the general fund and supports the general services provided by all city departments, excluding the Department of Public Utilities. Over the next 3 sessions, tonight and tomorrow evening, 10 departments will present their proposed FY27 budgets. Next Thursday, the police and fire departments, along with the Department of Public Utilities, will conclude the hearings. There's a lot of information being presented. The presentation material can be found on the clerk's website under Government, under Budgets. In fact, the budget presentation material from 2014 through current continues to be housed at this location. Appropriation ordinances are also found on the clerk's website. However, so that they're easily available for everyone's review, we also include 10 years of appropriation ordinances on the city's website in 3 different places. On the mayor's website, the OBM department, as well as the open government website under the budgets heading. And in accordance with Illinois municipal budget law and applicable state statutes, the city's fiscal year budget has been prepared so that estimated revenues and other available resources, including beginning fund balances where permitted, are equal to or greater than the proposed expenditures and other uses for each fund. This ensures the municipality does not plan to expend more than it expects to receive in resources, thereby preventing deficit spending and maintaining fiscal discipline. The city also strives to maintain adequate fund balance reserves in accordance with adopted financial policies to safeguard against revenue shortfalls and unanticipated expenditures. City code stipulates that fund balance in relation to expenses is to be maintained at a minimum of 8%. This budget proposes a legally compliant budget where authorized spending does not exceed realistic revenues plus available resources. Reserves are respected, and ongoing costs are substantially funded. The first slide provides audited fiscal year 2025 financial results, the current year 26 budget, the fiscal year 26 current estimate, the FY27 budget projections, and FY28 early projections. We began 2 budget seasons ago, including early projections, in order to be more transparent. The budget is based on conservative revenue estimates and assumed spending of 100% of authorized spending. The current spending estimate for fiscal year 26 of $174 million versus the current budget amount of $187 million for fiscal year 26 is favorable by $12.6 million. These are expenses with authorized budget that will be spent in future years or will not be spent. The breakdown of that estimated lapse is as follows in the bottom left corner. You'll see the vacancy hiring lag of $4 million, timing of multi-year grants of $6.7 million, a fire engine ordered not yet delivered of $1.2 million, a reappropriation for the firebolt vehicle of $337,000, and all other expense lines of $317,000. Still in that one. The comparison of the fiscal year 27 projections versus the fiscal year 26 current budget results in a variance of $14.1 million. A breakdown is as follows. Personal service projections of regular salaries of $2.3 million, and personal service projections for fiscal year 27 assumes 100% fully staffed. There are currently 38 vacancies in the corporate fund. For illustrational purposes, if none of these positions were filled, there would be a personal service estimate lapse of 3.2 million. Vacancies have reached 56 during fiscal year 26. The second line of public safety pension increase, that has an increase of just over $2 million for the fire pension fund. The recommended contribution, alternate funding, 90% for the police pension fund has increased by $370,000 from the prior valuation. The third line is a workers' comp funding increase of 1.7 million. And that is a true up for fire, police, and public works for additional funding needed for the workers' compensation reserves in the self-insurance fund. Employer health insurance increased 1.5 million over the fiscal year 26 current budget. And all other personal service lines, which includes additional 1,100 lines not mentioned in the 4 above, or the 5 above. Because there's also the IMRF pension increase, I left that out, that's 200,000. This includes overtime, FICA, Medicare, and contributions to sick payout, workers' compensation, and unemployment insurance. There's 2.1 million in awards and grants, 1.6 million in additional transfers to the library, and 1.4 million in equipment. The 10th category in this table is all other expense lines. And that is about 3,000 lines, and it is $627,000 negative. Those first 6 lines are from personal service lines, and personal service lines are accounting for 70% of our total corporate budget. Slide 3 here. This is 9 years of historical fund balance and 1 year of estimated ending fund balance. The audited fiscal year 25 fund balance of 68 million is the highest ever corporate fund ending balance. The fiscal year 26 results are expected to increase that balance to 71.2 million. The level of fund balance provides an appropriate use of fund balance for fiscal year 27. Numerous factors can cause actual results to differ materially from those projected. Delays in filling of vacancies or conservative revenue estimates with results that exceed expectations are example of possible differences. This slide shows the original corporate fund balance used as available resources in the appropriations. For example, in fiscal year 24, nearly 34 million of fund balance was used as available resources to balance the budget. But the actual result was a use of fund balance of only 2.8 million, and you'll see that in that bottom row. That's due to vacancies and lapses. In fiscal year 25, 13.2 million of fund balance was used as available resources to balance the budget. During fiscal year 25, OBM issued new bonds of $15 million, with 10 million being used to fund firehouses and 5 million used for equipment. We also refunded the 2014 series with a net present value savings of nearly $650,000. Likewise, in fiscal year 26, 12.5 million of available resources was used to balance the budget, and we are estimating an increase of fund balance of $3.2 million. Better than expected tax revenues, coupled with deferrals and lapses in spending, have accounted for that. For example, the 1.1 million for fire equipment has been held in fiscal year 26. This slide provides more detail on the grocery tax. Beginning January 1st, 26, the 1% sales tax on groceries ended. The loss is estimated between $400,000 to $433,000 per month, or 4.8 to 5.2 million annually. According to Illinois Municipal League research, 737 municipalities have enacted a replacement local grocery tax. Champaign has raised their home rule sales tax by 0.25% instead of reinstituting the grocery tax. Deadlines to implement a tax are April 1st for a July effective date and October 1st for a January effective date. We have included a list of locations in Sangamon County and our comparable municipalities and other notable locations that have imposed the tax. The city of Springfield has not re-implemented the 1% tax. Jeff Ajeezy, the director of, our fiscal services assistant director, is going to walk you through the pension slides tonight.
Thank you, Director. The next few slides focus on the police and pension funds. When people hear about the pension crisis facing communities throughout Illinois, many often assume that the funds don't have enough money to pay current or near future benefits. This chart shows that this is not the case. This is the 28-year audited history of the police pension fund. The assets are in the blue, benefit payments are in the yellow. The most recent report shows assets at $230 million, with benefit payments of $21.4 million in the most recent year. As you can see, asset growth has consistently outpaced benefit payments. This slide is the 28-year asset history of the fire pension fund. The most recent report values assets at the fire pension at $192 million, with benefit payments of $19.7 million. This slide shows projected police and fire pension fund under the current property tax rate. State law requires downstate fire and pension funds to reach 90% funding by the year 2040. All other state pension funds have 2 to 19 additional years to achieve this 90% benchmark. In fact, Chicago police and fire pension funds have an additional 15 years and are not required to reach their 90% funding until the year 2055. This is why downstate communities face this pension pressures so much sooner than the rest of the state. The red bars on the chart illustrates the shortfall from the city's property tax in funding the police and fire pension. If you look at it, you will see in FY27, we are estimating that the shortfall will be $9.8 million that will need to come from the corporate fund. And to show you how much that has grown, 20 years ago, police and fire pension funding consumed 66% of all City of Springfield property tax receipts. Currently, there are ongoing efforts at the Capitol to roll back Tier 2 retroactively. A Tier 2 change will significantly increase these numbers.
This slide compares an array of taxes imposed by the City of Springfield and comparable municipalities. Rates for Springfield are highlighted in yellow. The average property tax rate of the table comparables is $1.33 per $100 of equal assessed value, or the acronym EAV, compared to the City of Springfield's rate of 94 cents per $100 of EAV. As you examine the chart, you will see that Springfield does not assess a grocery tax, a food and beverage tax, a local liquor tax, utility tax on natural gas, nor a municipal motor fuel tax. These next two slides contain a summary of a few other funds. Notably, the library, 20% of the personal property replacement tax revenue is used to fund library operations, and that has fallen drastically, which has required an increased transfer from the corporate fund for fiscal year 27 of $1.6 million. The South Central Business District, construction of the sports park is on schedule and it's near completion. The fiscal year 27 proposed budget includes funding for the remaining work, and it also includes the debt service for the sports park, the special service area, and the business district bonds. The motor fuel tax fund has $66 million in it, budgeted for the usable Segment 6 Springfield Railroad Improvement Project, and has $13.1 million for road repair, construction, safety improvements, engineering, salt, and land acquisitions. The TIF funds. The fiscal year 27 budget includes $11.4 million for new projects and $6.9 million for committed projects across all TIF funds. And Director Raising, when she presents the OPED budget, she will talk about how the new budget includes all available funds for the new projects. The Capital Equipment Fund, the fiscal year 27 proposed budget includes $2.4 million for debt service of previous lease programs and $1.1 million for purchases funded with the 2024 GEO bonds, the remaining proceeds. The remaining equipment purchases other than CWLP are budgeted in the corporate and the sewer funds. The Capital Improvement Fund, the fiscal year 27 budget includes $22.5 million for various infrastructure projects, including the annual road maintenance program and city structures. Additionally included is $8.5 million for debt service of the general obligation bonds. This slide provides the estimated ARPA spending for the final 2 years of the grant. A technical amendment will be prepared for the amounts needed for fiscal year 27, as it's not included in this projected budget. And this slide provides a quick one-page view of those funds that are utilizing fund balance for fiscal year 27. These amounts will be included with the appropriation ordinance exhibits. We have highlighted these available resources, which are used to present a balanced budget as a more transparent method instead of needing to search through the budget book to identify them as a revenue source. Revenues only are displayed in the original presentation for transparency purposes. Another item to note is that the city can respond to any reduction in future fund balance with a variety of options. We could always implement a grocery tax, not saying that we're going to. The mayor is not implementing a tax. We could always raise property taxes, not doing that either, but it's always an option. To increase our 94 cents of EAV per $100 of EAV to the average of our comparables at $1.33 would be $11.5 million. We could always do a one-year moratorium on equipment. That would be a $6 to $7 million savings. Or we could always have a hiring freeze. Anyone have any questions?
Any questions of the director? Going once, going to, yes, Alderman.
Yes, just real quick. So we're paying the pensions at 90%. Why not 100? If we're at 23%, because I believe our ordinance, we have an ordinance if we're over 18, 21%, something like that, we pay an extra pension payment anyway.
we pay it does not count the 90. We're making the extra pilot payment, and we are making the extra, the cannabis payment. An extra payment, that takes council action to do an extra.
Okay, and,
I know a few years ago, we did, I think, an extra $1 million.
Right.
And we did that
Director,
2
to
years in
get
a row.
to, I think it would be helpful, and I think we've had this in the past, Alderman, to show what 100% payment would be
I
as
can give
compared to
that.
what's being proposed. That would be helpful for us to have.
Sure.
yep, thank
Then
you.
where it comes from, I guess, is what we would have to.
Yes.
Anything else, Alderman?
Nope, thank you, that works, thank you.
Anyone else have a question of the director? Yes, Alderwoman Conley.
Just as a reminder, all the presentations will be posted on the website, correct? And
Yes.
will those be on the clerk's page?
Yes, they are all on the clerk's page.
Everything is already up
Yes,
and posted?
from
Okay, just to make sure.
2014 through current is on the clerk's page.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman Otrano.
Thank you, Chair. Director, you had said that the fund balance is better than expected, has been because tax revenue is up, and then you said one other.
Our tax revenue's up. We have had vacancies with our personal services. We currently have, 36 vacancies as of yesterday, and at one point during the, or 38. At one point during the year, we had 56 vacancies.
Okay.
And we also have lapses with the grant funds, the multi-year funding, especially with the police grants.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Gregory.
Just a follow-up question, Ms. Ramona, what is the highest fund balance that we've ever used? I've heard 12.5 and 13, what's the highest that's ever been used?
The fund balance percentage or the fund balance, the actual fund balance? Where we're at right now is the highest fund balance we've ever had.
How much, what's the highest reserves we ever used?
Highest that we've ever used?
Yes, out of that.
Ooh, I don't have that number.
Okay, just send me that when you can.
That might, I'd have to go back and look at
In the
less.
recent time.
In recent times, I have in this presentation, I only have 3 years shown, 24,
Okay.
25, and 26.
Okay, I'll follow up. Thank you, I
Okay.
appreciate you. Don't want to belabor the point.
I can get that.
Anything further, Alderman?
Nope.
Alderman Hanauer.
Thank you. Director, are we including on projections, what's gonna happen with Shields opening up, Shields Sports Park? We're not including that at all? Because they're filling up the weekends already, for this year. That's a great sign, so, I just was wondering, so that's not something we're accounting for, so that'll be extra,
There's some in
well.
the hotel motel tax, but,
well, and sales tax for when they go to restaurants and that, so.
right,
so
we don't have a
but-
food and beverage tax.
Oh, that's true.
Anything further, Alderman?
No, thank you.
As a follow-up to that, could you get us, I'm curious, or maybe you know off the top of your head, the sales tax projections that are utilized in this budget, what's the percentage increase from the prior year?
I'll get that.
Okay, you don't know what that is okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Alderwoman Natrano.
One more thing. Thank you, Chair. So you listed a couple of items to help save money, but you didn't say anything about the hotel motel tax. Are we maxed out there, or?
We are at, the hotel motel. Don't know if we're maxed out. Do you know that?
Is that a potential place where we could increase?
We are,
8%.
we're pretty high on that in the Shields, that, special service area. We're at 8%, overall. Yeah, we're at the max.
Okay,
Scott Dahl, Director Dahl, we're at the max.
gotcha, okay. Oh, okay, perfect, thank you. Thank you so much.
Anything further, Alderwoman?
That's it.
Okay, anybody else while she's here?
I
Yes.
just got one quick.
Yes, sir.
And Ralph, or Alderman Hanauer, you jogged my last question. So on the That's a good question about how the sports complex plays into our final balance. And if I'm not mistaken, is there, and Corporation Council, you might have to help out with this, but in that special area, do they have to get to a threshold before we start seeing that trickle over to the city? Not talking about when they come outside of that special taxing district, but doesn't so much of that stay there until we get over?
So there's a 1% that is used to pay the bonds.
Right?
We get the rest of that. It's an
Okay.
additional sales tax
Okay.
that is added onto it for that special service area.
Okay, all right.
So that takes the rate to 9.75 overall and 10.75 in the special service area.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. All right, thank you, I appreciate you.
Good question. Anything further? Okay, I agreed with Tony. If there's no more questions, that between directors, we will take a 2-minute break. So 2-minute break, everybody, and we'll see you in 2.
Chair.
Next up is the treasurer.
Can everyone please put your microphones in the middle so we can hear you?
What?
Your microphones. Some of y'all couldn't hear. Make sure all mics are centered.
Next Tuesday. It's on. Game on. It's on. Just let it be known. All right. Should be. What's it say on the top? Oh, come on.
It's on, but you need it close. That one, you need it close. Good. I'll double.
That don't look too bad. So I was thinking it was gonna be a lot more.
I cannot stop coughing today. Yes, sir.
You got enough, Larry?
I got hard to see once.
Come on.
Tony, you ready?
Ready?
Okay. Yes, sir. Treasurer, you're up. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. As you know, I'm Colleen Redpath-Thayer, your City Treasurer. Tonight, joining me is Rachel Thomas, our Office Manager. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I appreciate the chance to walk you through the FY 2027 budget for the Treasurer's Office, to share how we work and to focus on protecting public funds and serving Springfield's taxpayers. The Treasurer's Office is responsible for managing the city's cash, banking relationships, balancing the accounts, investing, collections, and payment processing. At the end of the day, Everything we do comes back to a few simple things: being responsible with taxpayer dollars, working efficiently, and being transparent and accountable in how we do our work. Some accomplishments for 2026. Cost control. Cost control is something that we pay very close attention to in our office. We've been able to keep our financial institution fees extremely low, $420 year-to-date, carefully managing our banking services. We also implemented remote deposit capture, which allows us to deposit our funds directly and quickly within the treasurer's office. This removes any middle steps, reducing delays, eliminating the need for courier services. As a result, we save an estimated $12,000 a year. That fee goes up every single year. There's always an increase with those courier services. So just this year, it would be roughly $12,000 that we're saving. We're also not just saving that money, but it's a security of having those funds deposited in our office, and it's faster. In addition to controlling those costs, we worked hard to recover revenue that is owed to the city. In compliance with Ordinance 3717, we recovered roughly over $15,000 year-to-date by identifying unpaid debts on outgoing payments. I do want to take a moment to recognize Rachel Thomas, which I introduced to you as our office manager. She is directly responsible for this collection effort of these funds, and her attention to detail and follow-through has been crucial in the success that it is in our office. Additional 2026 accomplishments. Throughout FY 2026, we focused on making our processes more efficient and strengthening internal controls. We expanded electronic payments for city departments, enabled automatic payments for payment arrangements, and increased vendor payments throughout ACH to improve security. We also re-implemented the BOOT program in FY 26 in coordination with the Public Works Department. As part of the BOOT program, the Treasurer's Office is responsible for notification and payment collection of this process. In 2025, we sent out 1,222 eligible notifications, making sure individuals were properly informed and given the opportunity to resolve outstanding obligations that are due to the City of Springfield. We are currently in the process of sending out another 700 notifications. We're hoping to have that done within the next month, continuing our focus and with clear communication and process due to make sure that everybody is compliant. We've updated our employee debt collection procedures to improve consistency and accountability. As part of strengthening our internal controls, we identified 104 employees with outstanding debt owed to the City of Springfield. Through improved processes and follow-up, we've been able to reduce that number to 23 employees, which represents significant progress for the City Treasurer's Office. Going forward, this review will become an annual responsibility for the Treasurer's Office, and this spring we plan on reducing that number even further. Our goal is simple. It's to hold the City and CWLP employees to the same standards and accountability as we hold everybody else that does business with the City of Springfield and CWLP. So goals for 2027. Going forward into 2027, we'll continue working side by side with other city departments. We will continue to increase electronic vendor payments in order to improve financial security, streamline processing, and reduce reliance on paper checks. We plan to continue working with city departments to expand and enhance payment options available to the public, making it easier and more convenient for residents and businesses to make payments. In addition, we are coordinating with OBM to take full advantage of the improvements of the new city's ERP finance system. We will work closely with OBM and CWLP to convert as many vendors as possible from paper checks to electronic payments during the FY 2027. Our final goal moving forward in FY 27 is to reduce the number of outstanding checks that we have on the books. We currently comply with unclaimed property state statute requirements, but we are working towards a resolution with city and CWLP finance departments to proactively reduce outstanding checks to 120 days on the books. This really comes down to a better cash management, less administrative work, and making sure that the funds don't sit there any longer than they need to. All right, this is the good part. So, interest earnings. So one of the most important ways that the Treasurer's Office supports the city is through responsible investment management. While always prioritizing safety and liquidity, we have been able to maximize interest earnings for city, electric, and water funds. As of December 31st, 2025, city interest earnings were approximately $4.8 million. I'll give you a second to look at the past year's interest earnings there for the city. All right, moving to electric. Electric as of 12/31/2025 is roughly $3.3 million. And then moving to the water, we're at approximately $570,000 at the end of 2025. These earnings help support city operations and reduce pressure on other revenue sources, all while remaining fully compliant and statutory and with policy requirements. That said, if interest rates continue to trend downward, we do anticipate a corresponding decrease in that interest income in the next fiscal year. On to our workforce. Our staff is truly the foundation of everything that we accomplish. So everything that I've already gone over here, our small department is those 11 people in our department are the ones that are successful for all of those accomplishments. Currently, we have 13 budgeted positions. We currently have 11 of those filled. Diversity and inclusion is important within the Treasurer's Office. We are currently at a 45% minority hiring rate. Our goal is to continue to build a well-trained and diverse professional team that reflects our community that we serve. And then for the 2027 budget overview, pretty simple for us. We had a small increase in personal services, and that's due to the health insurance cost and the obligated increases. And then to help offset that, we took a close look at our operating expenses, and we were able to reduce the contractual services line by over $21 million, or excuse me, that would be nice, right? $21,000. And so that kind of was able to level out that personal services line. As a result, FY27 budget for us comes in $847 less than the requested 2026 requested budget, showing that we are focused on financial responsibility and thoughtful budgeting. In closing, the Treasurer's Office remains committed to being careful stewards of public funds. We will continue to look for ways to save money, to recover revenue, modernize our processes, and operate with transparency and accountability. Thank you for hearing from us, and do you have any questions?
Thank you, Treasurer. Alderman Hanauer.
Yeah, thank you. Madam Treasurer, one of the pieces that were put in many years ago I was a part of was the collections, where we send things out to collections. How are we doing with that? Are collections the people that we've hired to do? What percentage are we getting back? Or is it continue to go up, and is it still working well for us?
We are a little down from last year. Last year, I think we were roughly 70-some thousand. 70-some thousand. This year, we are at a total of 54,000. So. Right. We are down. We are seeing a decrease with the private firm that we're currently contracting with. There's only about a little almost 14,000 that they have collected for us, whereas a little over 40,000 is coming from the state of Illinois. And that is something that we are going to look in this year, is a different way of collecting.
Did we change the company we were dealing with, or is it just the way it's been?
We're just not getting the response that we were getting before.
Okay, thank you.
And, you know, as we collect, there's less to collect. I'm not saying that there isn't still money out there to collect, but we are going to try a different route this year and see maybe if there's something else we can do.
Yeah, I think it's important that we go out after the debt that's owed to us. It's hard to force other people to pay when we don't go after people that have had it for quite some time, and the fact that we're not paying the fees for them to go collect is a benefit too. So thank you. Good job.
Yep.
Thank you, Alderman. Any further questions of the treasurer? Any further questions of the treasurer? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much, treasurer and your staff, for keeping it brief and informative. Just a couple more minutes, the clerk will be up. Tony, you just tell me when you're ready.
You know we talking about it.
You start laughing, but I start
Yeah,
talking.
I already know.
Reminder,
Yeah,
microphones
tonight,
are still live.
I'm being
Microphones are still live.
Mr. Clerk, are you ready? Tony, are you ready?
Ready.
I didn't hear him.
No. Tony, just let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, you're up.
Thank you.
Please put the microphone up to your mouth. Thank you.
Come on, man. You started me already.
You new here?
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is my second budget for, and the last year that we were in office, we had several accomplishments that we really are proud of. I'm going to start off and talk to you a little bit about what our office does. The Office of Clerk serves as the official record keeper for the City of Springfield. It maintains the corporate seal of the City of Springfield, produces and posts the agendas of the City Council, automatic committees, and special committees that may be scheduled. Once agenda resolutions and zoning dockets items pass or fail, it's the responsibility of the city clerk to record all that information, make it available for public electronic in a minute format. Conduct all city council and automatic committees and the special meetings and live public viewing along with register all votes. Post notices for the city meetings online and on the notice board. Maintains a file system for records, retention, and records disposal. This is done, authorization from the Secretary of State's Office, Archives Division pursuant to the Local Records Act. As the local registrar for the Sangamon County, the city clerk's office registers all birth, death records in Sangamon County. We work closely with the Illinois Department of Public Health on vital records using a shared data system called IVERS. Accepts and completes requests for records pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act. Acts as the administrator acts as the administration clerk, court clerk for the City of Springfield. Stores all files, statements, and reports. They preserve all audio records for all court proceedings that are required by law in order to preserve the defendant's rights and appeal a ruling of the administrative court hearing officer. Issues many different licenses such as bowling alley, florist, fireworks, funeral homes, dry cleaners, video gaming, and video gaming operators, and many more. Takes roll call and prepares minutes for the standardization and specification meetings weekly, as well as maintains both paper and electronic copies for the minutes. The workforce in my office is, we have 5 employees, not counting myself, and that was what we were authorized this last year. When I walked into the office, we had 2 employees. I was able to go in immediately and start reorganizing the office. We went in and I worked with the unions and our HR department to restructure the positions, and as you'll see in the budget that we were able to drop our costs in our personal line services. The budget for the clerk's office, under personal services, you'll see we're down 1.33%, and that was due to the negotiations where we restructured the salary base, and so we were able to do that, so we're down there. Contractual services, we're up 10%, 0.1%. Commodities is 19,000, it's up 5.5%. And the commodities is where we have to buy our paper, and we have to buy special paper for the birth and death records, which is pretty expensive. Equipment's 300. The electronic data processing is up 1,400%, because I put in there the $30,000 for the new software that we want to bring to the city. I can tell you that was an estimate that we put in, and we're in the negotiations now with the IRP, where we're going to be able to talk to them about the new software. Telecommunications was flat, and so the overall increase to my budget with the software in there is 2.9%. The workload, $175,300 total revenues for birth and death records, the printed certificates, and we sell those for $17 and $7 for any additional copies. Business licenses, liquors, $364, miscellaneous is $513, gaming is $293, gaming operations is $12. We passed. We had 505 passed ordinances last year and 27 passed resolutions. FOIA request was 5,466. We have 450 square feet retention of documents, which is stored over in Municipal East. Goals for the office is to continue to strive the accuracy and precision, being as transparent as possible by making more information available to the public online daily. Continue the activities advertised that birth and death records certificates are only $17 for the first certificate and $7 for the additional certificate. To continue to keep the internal office up to date with any changes or updates for the FOIA and retention guidelines. To continue work towards obtaining new meetings management software and to enhance the efficiency of the office. That's about it. Good.
Okay, first question, Mr. Clerk, is from Alderman Hanauer. Alderman?
Thank you. And Mr. Clerk, just so we understand, the software that you're looking to do will replace our voting software that we use currently. Is that correct?
That's correct. I sent you out a letter earlier, and I wanted to make sure you all seen it before we came to this, to show you exactly what the IRP that we sent out, RFP that we sent out, so you can see what we're looking at. We've had about 7 or 8 contractors who responded to that, and if the council agrees that we were going to go forward on this, we'll finish that process.
Now, what we use is a homegrown software. Are we able to get support anymore from the IT?
Well, they do the best they can. You got to remember the software was developed several years ago, and a lot of the people that developed that software are gone. So it's harder and harder. The software itself is pretty much outdated. That's why we thought we'd go, and you guys see the results, of we have to use a special clock and things go off and the
Right.
voting machine's not working right. So we did have a presentation, and I believe you and Alderman Donnelly came to the presentation, when we had a vendor come in and tell us what they had to do, but, or was that Carlson?
I'm not sure. I'll just say this, I think, I mean, we got to do something, because this, obviously, we've had problems with this. So I'm glad that you are moving forward with a new software package. Now, I'm sure as we go forward, we may need to get some training included in that, and, you know, it's probably not going to be it's not going to be smooth transition, but I do think we need it going forward. I get so frustrated with this, and I would like to have, hopefully this one does have, where when we have presentations, we can have them on our screen here, because we're trying to look, or you can't see real well on, you know, on a black and white thing, and actually we could probably save paper if we could have it on our screen. So I appreciate that. I'm glad you're doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Conley.
I'll let the clerk finish whatever he was going to say. Were you going to say something?
No, I'll
Okay, so Alderman Hanauer asked the first question I was thinking of, which was our voting upgrades. Just a question, who has the money in their budget to improve the audio and video transmissions from chambers?
Communications Department.
Okay.
Why, what's wrong?
Because next to our frustration around voting, the biggest complaint I get about council chambers are issues. I mean, I'm relieved when we have a meeting go by and I don't get a text saying, hey, we can't hear you, hey, we can't see you. So good to know. We'll look forward to seeing that in communications budget. Thanks, Clerk.
Is that it, Alderwoman?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Alderman Gregory.
Just real quick, with all of these changes, and I'm happy to hear that, if you know, this all passes, what's the anticipation, Clerk Redpath, on how long it'll take to implement it? And
It's going to take a little bit of implementation to implement it.
Okay.
I gave you an estimate of $30,000, and that
Yeah.
may not be enough. That was a ballpark figure we got from one of the vendors.
Okay.
Before we go forward with this, I'm going to come back to the city council, obviously, to ask for approval for the spending part of that. And when we get the real numbers, we'll come back. But
Okay.
this is a pretty good estimate, and we'll see how that's going to happen.
All right.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little training for all of us. I mean,
Okay.
there's so many different things that we don't use that are out there that is going to make our lives easier, I hope. And that's what the whole plan is.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna add that,
Please use the mic.
I was just gonna add that, one of the vendors that did reach out, it was a 3 to 6 month implementation. So that's,
Okay. No, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Anything further, Alderman?
No, sir.
Alderman Carlson.
Hey, Chuck, as far as birth and death, the county's like, what, $20 or $25? I mean, we're cheaper.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, is it convenience, or people here and they get it, or people just shopping around, which is cheaper? What have you found?
Well, we only handle back to 1985, and then the
Right.
county handles the rest. And they probably implemented that. I don't know how they came to that, but ours has always been what it is.
Cheaper, which is good. Yeah, no,
And, you know, back to birth and death records, we take hundreds of calls each month from people who don't know where to go. I mean, we are the facilitator for Sangamon County, but we get calls from Chicago and all around the state because people say call Springfield. So guess what? They call the Springfield clerk. And unfortunately, and I'm not trying to out anybody, but the state, they only work from 10 to 3 on, what is it?
it's Monday.
10 to 3, and they don't usually take phone calls. You can get them online, but they're over on Ridgely Avenue. And our guys, we do a good job on directing them and trying to help them get their stuff. But
and these numbers must be, you say they increase daily, so they must have
it's
increased
amazing.
over the last 2, 3, 5, 6.
I have 5 people answer the phones, and they're all on the phone all the time.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Alderman Rockford.
Yes, and clerk, when you receive these phone calls, you do tell them to come to the city clerk's office to purchase the marriage and, or the death certificates and
Yeah.
birth certificates, right? You know?
Yes, we
Okay,
will.
because we do need the funds.
You bet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alderman.
So I just want to say, you know, when we walked into the office last year, we had to make some significant changes. And the records area was disarray, and so we hired a contractor to come in for 3 months to put those records back in place. And then they're back in form where we can actually look up stuff. So that was one area. When we first came in, we had trouble with the FOIAs. The FOIAs were, we had so many complaints that people weren't getting their FOIAs. So Corporation Counsel came up with the idea that we added a step, and we did that with, what we do is, Athena, is it Athena, that we follow through on. That's what the program that electronically does the notifications, and they show where the FOIAs are in the process. We added another step at the end of that, which they send out the FOIAs to the people electronically, and then now we follow up with a phone call or a text to the people to make sure they got them. We haven't had a complaint in about 8 months, and they were off the wall when we first walked in the door, and people were upset. Now, people do still get upset because they don't like the results of what they get from the FOIA, but that's not up to us. There are certain parameters that they have to follow to give the information out to people, so that system's been fixed too. And, you know, I gotta just say, I got a marvelous staff. They are outstanding. We're really proud to have who we have. They go out of their way to help people. We get a lot of people that just come in our office for information, and they're able to direct them and take care of them and get them in the right place wherever they need to be. So, very lucky to have these folks.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Was the part of the problem before a lot of the emails were going to spam probably? And things?
Well,
That's why the phone call,
they
personal
end
touch
up
is
in
important.
people's Spam files,
Yeah.
and sometimes they just get lost. And we'd have to tell people, look in your spam files, sure they were in there. And so those were the problems. I got to give Corporation Counsel the credit, though. He's one of the, said, let's try this, and it worked.
Thank you for that update. Any further questions of the clerk? Okay, Mr. Clerk, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Next up is Council Coordinator Tim Griffin. And Tony, he's going to be ready pretty quick since he's Tim Griffin, superstar. And when you're ready, just let us know. Thank you.
Only 1,400%, huh? 1,400%. 1,400%. Yes.
Seriously, it may be a little bit. We got to get the right stuff. It'll give us, when people are calling in, it'll be on your screen. That kind of stuff. That's going to do technical.
Yeah, because the call-in, I've had to do that a couple of times with the band. Yeah, it sucks.
I'm ready.
We
Just, it also, we have.
We pushed them as hard as we could to get them. They kept the technology.
Right.
I'm ready whenever.
Well, yeah, it automatically finds you when you. What do we call it? Wasn't here.
Okay, Mr. Griffin, you're up.
This on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everyone, my name is Tim Griffin. I'm the City Council Coordinator. As I've done the last couple of years in order to streamline your evenings, so you're not spending all night up here listening to things you already know very well. I sent out an email last week. It actually went over any of the discrepancies that's different than from the last couple of years. There was only one deduction. That was the 1232 line, and that was some money we had not been spending for the last couple of years, so I cut it. Only had one addition, and that was the 1218 line, and that was to pay for the plaques that we had to purchase out of our funds this year. So anything else, I just said to go ahead and give any questions if you had any. There was no discrepancies and no differences from the last few years. I've got 1 second left before I go, and I just want to thank all you guys that are my bosses, but I can't thank enough of Jeanette Bland and the work she does in that office for us and for all of you, and you deal with her every day, so you're aware of that. But
Absolutely.
if you have any questions, please let me know.
Well, thank you, Tim, and Jeanette as well. I know she'll probably be watching, even though she's not supposed to be, but we couldn't do what we do without the council coordinator's office, and a lot of things you do behind the scenes, you and Jeanette, and you're our connection to a lot of the departments, and be happy to open it up for any questions, but, you know, we deal with you on a daily basis. Sometimes multiple times a day, but it's a pleasure working with you, and I'm sure everybody agrees. Any questions of Mr. Griffin? Going once, going twice? All right, Tim, thank you very much.
I think Jim spoke more than you did.
I missed the whole thing. I was in the back.
And next up is the office of the mayor, and Tony, when you're ready, we'll be ready.
This dry weather. I have a tick on my throat. I can't get rid of it. It's this dry weather. I had to bum a dot off Larry. Here comes the dream team. Do what?
That's right.
Mics are still hot.
Scott's last. Welcome, dream team.
Ready.
Okay, Mr. Tony is ready. Mr. Flashley, you're up.
Thank you, Alderman. Good evening. My name is Billy Fleishley. I am Chief of Staff to Mayor Misty Busher. I'm accompanied by my friends and colleagues here, Greg Mordock, Corporation Counsel, Ethan Posey, our Director of Community Relations, and Miss Amanda Brown, Director of Communications. First slide is just a quick org chart. These lovely folks to my right report directly to the mayor, and then I'm on the side with boards and commissions under me. Here's a little bit more of a laid out breakdown. In our office, we have two administrative folks, Nellie and Purnima, who you all are familiar with. Under me directly are the boards and commissions, as well as our Senior Citizen Services Center. I'll let Greg talk about his office.
Thank you. So my office, there's a lot that goes into what you see on Tuesday evenings with me up there. Our office is split into 3 different divisions. We have our general practice division, code enforcement, and business licensing also falls under my office. The general practice, we handle all of the contracts that come through the city. We also handle all of the litigation that takes place in the city. So we're a small office with 6 current employees and 1 vacancy. The attorneys that we have in that department are myself. We have Katia, who a lot of you deal with, who does our contracts and all of the zoning issues. Then we have a police advisor position. We have a litigation position, and then one of the initiatives that I have, or one of the items that I'd like to do, is have a research attorney position that does research for our side, for code enforcement and for business licensing, and then also for the city council. I've posted that position to be filled, and hopefully we get an attorney in there that can help you answer questions. I know a lot of times you'll have one-off questions about, hey, Corporation Counsel, is this in code, or I got asked this question, and you need a response that day or the next day, and sometimes we can't get it to you and can't respond. And I want an attorney that's dedicated to getting you those quick answers and to help you with drafting legislation. So that's a position that we posted with an open position in December, and we're currently looking to fill that position. One of the items that I've asked is for an additional attorney that would fill a code enforcement position. That would put us back to the number of attorneys that we had approved in fiscal year 2024, for fiscal year 2024. So in fiscal year 24, we had 18 employees in my office with 9 attorneys. 25, that went down by 2. There was a removal of an attorney and a removal of the labor relations manager. Last year, we were authorized to again be at 16 employees, but we moved a paralegal position up to an attorney position. So this year I'm asking for 17 employees with an additional attorney. The reason I'm asking you for that is because we hear up a lot on Tuesdays about code enforcement, that we want more cases done, that we want more demolitions filed, that we want quicker resolution. If you look at our accomplishments, they're pretty level with last year. And that is about what we can do with the staffing that we have. You know, we set about 50 to 60 cases every Tuesday or every Wednesday morning in code enforcement, and that's what we can handle with our staffing. Another thing that I found, if you look at the budget from 2020 up through this year, we're typically around $200,000 or more under budget on personnel. That's because we have attorneys that leave the office. We have paralegals that leave, but we do experience a lot of turnovers. Over the last month, we've lost several employees, most of whom went to different departments in the city, which they still remain an asset to the city, but you lose that institutional knowledge and then you're retraining. This additional position in code enforcement would hopefully allow less turnover. Right now, I've got 2 attorneys in code enforcement. So when you're at 3 or even at 4, when you lose one, we start to get stretched more and more. So my hope is that if this trend continues and we're usually looking to hire somebody or usually down an employee, at least would be at staffing to get done what this council wants to achieve. So looking at our accomplishments, you can look through them. They're very similar to last year. What I would highlight is that our MR cases are down. Those are miscellaneous remedy cases. Those are enforcement cases. We did have a backlog that we worked through those cases. We were able to do that when we were almost at full staff in code enforcement, so we were taking care of some of that backlog. In addition, our workers' comp cases, we're getting a lot of the old workers' comp cases done, so we're seeing less of those being filed and being litigated. Those have been about cut in half over the prior year. So total fees, over the last year, we did have 2 new licensing structures put in place by City Council. We are handling that. Our police advisor, that's his title, but he also handles liquor, and then that's now been expanded to liquor and the massage parlor and secondhand dealer licensing. So he does all of the licensing as well. So, and that's been an expanded role because liquor presents its own challenges, but then, as you're aware, there was a lot of licensing issues and a lot of cases that were brought before administrative court with the new licensing structures as well. So the summary, again, we're up a little bit in revenue because of collections and code and business licensing, but relatively static. So my big ask is we did budget for an additional person in my office. The only other budgetary increases we're asking for is an increase in software costs. So to run a good legal office, you really need 3 things. You need a legal research software, you need a good document management system, and you need coffee. We increased our budget for the new research software that we have. That's LexisNexis. We always do the major competitors, which are LexisNexis and Westlaw. As every time there's a leap in technology, those 2 companies will roll out new products. They rolled out a new one that has an AI component, so the cost has gone up with that. So you see that reflected in the budget. It's still a much cheaper option than using Westlaw. The other item that we use is a program called Amicus Attorney. That's our document management system. It's no longer supported by our ISD. Nobody at ISD can interact with that software anymore. The version that we have is probably 20 years old, so every time we open something, it creates a new text box. And to give you an idea of the search function, so if we're at 800 East Monroe Street, is my office, if you search 800 East Monroe, it won't pull up anything that's a location of 800 E Monroe. It won't pull up anything that has 800 E period Monroe. It won't pull up 800 Monroe. So you can imagine the type of searches we have to do, and that same can be applied to somebody's name. So Springfield LLC is different than Springfield L period C period, which is different than Springfield LLC period. So yeah, Springfield comma LLC. So those are the searches we're dealing with. With attorney turnover, we all have our own different ways to do it. So that's a long-winded way of saying we need to upgrade that program as well, and you'll see that reflected in our budget. We are looking at different programs and have some trials this week. And then other than that, cost of living, wage increases.
So I am going to go over some of the accomplishments that the communications department had over the past year. I will say the first 3 accomplishments obviously were completed prior to me coming into my role, but nonetheless they are still accomplishments. First off, the overall communication initiative that initially the mayor had launched. It was in order to build kind of just stronger connections throughout the community with our residents through departmental open houses, updates to our website, and expanding our direct engagement opportunities with city leaders. Those engagement opportunities have come in the form of those community connection ward meetings that we are still in the process of planning and executing. Additionally, we launched the City Navigator on the website. If you go to our website now, right in the middle, you will see City Navigator. It's really easy if you click on it. That's kind of your one-stop shop for all your questions you could possibly have. People can go to it. They have a variety of options from, contact us, learn about. That's where you can sign up for the newsletter, report issues you have, kind of see just the various different departments. We additionally launched the Community Connection communication tool. This is something that is within the City Navigator itself. This portal allows residents to submit questions, compliments, or concerns directly to City Hall. This is different than kind of report a problem. Usually report a problem is if it's something wrong with the street, light, etc. This is just where somebody can go if they don't want to try and call the city or call and reach out to a specific department. They're able to go here and just fill out a form there. It is monitored by a variety of different people. From there, their concern, compliment, whatever it is, will be directed to the correct department or correct group. So that is just another way we've been able to kind of connect everybody. This last accomplishment is one you guys should be familiar with. It was a recent ordinance that was passed. It's regarding upgrades to the audio and visual equipment / software in our AV control room. So this is in regards to the broadcast quality and equipment that help that broadcast quality. So that was kind of one of the first big accomplishments. I will say with this, we are in the process of ordering the material to do kind of that. I had told you guys we are doing a phased approach when it comes to fixing a lot of it, just because it's such a big project, it's a big ask. So phase 1 it's in the process of being ordered, and then I will keep you guys updated when we will begin the installation of it as well. And so hopefully it will help increase the reliability and quality of the broadcast system, and that would be through our Channel 18, through our YouTube, and anytime we are doing anything sort of live currently in the chambers. So moving on to kind of what initiatives I'd like to see for 2026 with the communications department. I'd like to increase public awareness of the city resources. I feel that there are so many resources within our website, within each department that kind of go sometimes overlooked or unnoticed. I'd like to be able to highlight those, such as the City Navigator, such as See-Click Fix, public meetings, any type of city event, and just the different opportunities to connect with the city and the different departments, and being able to highlight those, whether that's through our social media platforms, our websites, and coming up with different outreach ways that we can get into the community. Continuing upgrades to the audio and visual equipment and software. So with that, I am working on identifying kind of the next big important items for our software in the control room, to see what would be the next fix, like things that we are fixing. It's budgeted in my budget as well. So that is something that will be an ongoing priority of mine, is to ensure that we are having kind of that quality broadcast, that there isn't frustrations, because I know, as you guys have mentioned, people reach out. It's frustrating sometimes. If you're not able to make it here live, you're trying to follow along, and if we have things that cut out and things like that. We are trying to get to a point where we can avoid having that, where everything's communicating together. The equipment that we had or currently have is outdated, so it's kind of dealing with the growing world of technology and making sure we're staying up to date with it. So that is a continued initiative and goal of mine. And then finally, kind of just growing our digital engagement. Obviously, we're in a very digital world. Social media is a big way a lot of people stay connected, stay in touch. Kind of looking at our social media pages, seeing how we can do better. How can we put more information out that is relevant and important for the community to see? Coming up with different ways that we can make sure that everybody in our city feels connected and involved. So through the social media, looking at kind of our website and the traffic that goes through our website, seeing which where we can improve through certain departments on the website, and just looking kind of as a holistic approach, seeing where we can improve things. Those are just a few of the initiatives that I'd like to move forward with. This is my first budget, and I'm excited to be here. I have a lot of different ideas that I'd like to, see happen in 2026, but I'm excited to see what all the city has to offer, and be able to help kind of promote all the good things that happen with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So just to go over a few of the accomplishments that we've had in the Office of Community Relations this year, starting off with our annual Build Springfield event. In October, this was our biggest and best yet. We had the most turnout that we've had from the community in the 3 to 4 years that we've been doing this, to the point where we completely ran out of food with a long line that was wrapped around for almost an hour after our event ended. So we'd like to thank Bell's Finest for catering that. That was amazing. We had a lot of organizations that came out and really turned it into a great touch a truck for the kids, where we had more equipment out there for kids to really be introduced to the trades, and not only our city employees, but a number of different agencies that we have here in the city that do great work. So that was wonderful. Our announcement, along with the fire department and the police department, of the Beacon Project, which is currently being developed. I've had a lot of conversations from the head of behavioral health at IDHS to the head of the mobile crisis units to Memorial Behavioral Health, who is here, to Gateway Foundation, to a number of other partners, where we're really working and striving to put mental health in Springfield at the forefront of our priority list. From the Office of Community Relations, we are very much being utilized by the other agencies to step in and into a lane where we have a level of expertise and a level of knowledge with our staff, where we can really be assets to the community. And moving forward, I think that is going to have a monumental impact across the Springfield community. Our My First Home initiative, after lots of work and tireless effort, has finally gotten underway. I know a few of you have gotten a chance to go out to our 1933 East Cedar property and see the improvements that have been made. If you get a chance to walk through the inside of the property, it looks amazing. It will go to someone who will be a first-time homeowner here in the city of Springfield, right here on the east side of the beautiful property at an affordable price. We hope it is the first step to helping to revitalize the community, and so that we as a city government care about our individuals, care about our communities, and are really trying to give back to the community. Along that same vein, we've announced our Minority Business Institute, which will have its inaugural kickoff this year, starting February 4th, the start of Black History Month. We're bringing a number of resources, community partners, different city agencies in to speak to minority business owners and nonprofit organizers at no cost to themselves, trying to remove as many barriers as possible and help to build up strong, sustainable, reliable, and long-term businesses here in our community for our minority business owners. We, as an office, have spent a lot of time over the last 2.5, 3 years listening to the community and what people have been asking for, and trying to increase the programmatic value that we have to the community by taking that input and really putting into place things that are affordable and sustainable for the community, so that way, long after this administration ends and the next administration and the next administrations, we will have programs that stand the test of time that really add equity and value to the minority business owners and nonprofit organizers in our community. And that's something that is paramount and a priority for us. And last but not least, our homeless outreach team. We have tripled the size of our outreach team. Our community care services supervisor, Shannon Allen, has done a phenomenal job. I cannot speak highly enough about her and the rest of my staff, Toba Castro and Mary Doris, who we added as 2 new community care coordinators, the way we handle homeless encampments now, the way we connect people with services, the way that we work collaboratively with the continuum of care, with Public Works, with our zone managers, as compared to last year, the year before, and previously, are night and day. For example, with the 9th Street encampment, we were able to get everyone who was there to services within a timely manner and make sure that we've built this rapport with the most vulnerable population in our community. Not only that, our team has been tirelessly tracking the data for every single interaction they have on a daily basis with everyone that contacts our office, comes into contact with our team, and in the near future here, we'll have a presentation ready for you so that way you can see just how much work is being done by our outreach team. We know that that is something Alderwoman Purchase specifically has asked about in the past, is being able to see the numbers proactively of what our outreach teams are doing, so that way you can see the impact we're making before there's a crisis or there's an issue, just to be able to be updated. So our team has been tirelessly logging the data and information to make sure that we can bring that to you. From an initiative standpoint, we are finally at a point with our office where we're not creating more and more new initiatives to try and figure out what we can do to impact the community. We have a number of initiatives that we didn't have before that are in place. So now it's a matter of implementing them, tracking the data, and then coming back with the numbers and saying, this is what we thought we would do, this is what we projected, here's what the results are from the data that we've collected, and here's how we think we can improve moving forward. So we've made significant strides. We're going to continue to make significant strides. There's, with the exception of me, I have 5 amazing staff. My office coordinator, Sean Rydell, my receptionist, Chantel Coleman. Our office doesn't run without them. And these are just the major initiatives that we've worked on and accomplishments we've had. That doesn't count the number of people who have called, and we've helped make sure if they had issues with their rent, if they had issues with their power bill, if they had a water main burst, to be able to, coordinate these efforts with all these different agencies to help people with a number of problems that will never go listed in a list of accomplishments. But we work extremely hard. I have extremely dedicated staff, and I really appreciate everything that they do, and I appreciate the impact that we're making on the community.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, quick breakdown of our personnel, kind of a decade-long look. Our highest we've been before is 31. Our request this year is 30, and Greg described what that position was within our Corporation Counsel office. Business School 101 pie chart here of our breakdown. 23% go to operational costs, 77% on personal services. Here's line by line sort of breakdown of our budget. As I mentioned, our headcount request is from 29 to 30. Some of the increases you'll see were for hardware as well as software. That Corporation Counsel as well as our AV team need downstairs. There's also an additional 10,000 within stuff that I look over for the increase in utilities for the Senior Citizens Services Center. And that's kind of a quick overview. This, we're 2.6% of the overall corporate fund. And in this request, I was proud of it, we are requesting $77,000 less than we did last year. happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, directors. Mr. Carlson.
Yeah, Ethan, Chairman, if you forgive me for a second, but Ethan, I want to thank you and your staff. You've handled, for me personally, some homeless issues in my ward, but obviously some tenant and landlord issues as well that we've had meetings with, and so I want to thank you and your staff. You guys handle some very difficult situations, and you guys do a great job. Amanda, real quick, and I don't know how it works with Chuck's office, but, you know, with the visually impaired and hearing impaired people, I mean, with the new equipment coming in, is there going to be any sort of change? Are we going to be able to do something with that? You know, I get calls on that once in a while, you know, visually impaired people. What are we doing about that? I know, you know, when they get the agenda, if there's an issue, they have to call Chuck's office. Can you address that at all?
So currently, as far as our website goes, we're currently working through it to become to work with the ADA compliance to ensure that if there's PDFs put into the website, they are readable for those individuals who are visually impaired. Is that kind of along the lines you're talking? Or are you talking from a broadcasting standpoint as well?
From the broadcasting standpoint.
Broadcasting standpoint, we are working to make sure that the software is updated for all individuals. It's something that I have a good relationship with Intech. I'll be able to reach out and ask, and it can be part of that phase 2 to make sure if it already isn't. Obviously for the individuals who are visually impaired, we do have the audio that comes through. So we would just have to see in regards to if there's presentations done, how we could feed it all in together. But it is something I can look into.
Director, can you highlight for him that people have to click the closed captioning part when they're viewing the old video online? Isn't there a place where?
So in terms of viewing the broadcasting after the broadcasting is completed, everything does get put onto our YouTube, and through that YouTube, it's on the YouTube channel. You are able to click the closed captioning, yes, and it'll have also the transcript that it can read through the transcript from the video as well.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Hanauer.
Thank you. Greg, I want to talk a little bit about the business licensing area. I'm concerned because we only have 2 people in that area, and I believe they do inspections too, and that's a pretty, I don't know how they get their work done, getting the licenses and then going out and inspecting. You know, they're bringing in a lot of money. I mean, I think that's an area, Mayor, that I think we probably need to look at it. At least, I know one of the employees is eligible to retire anytime. He could just have a bad day and he'd leave, and there's a lot of institutional knowledge going out. The other part I wanted to talk about, because it was on here about taxi fees and that. I've noticed the times I've taken Uber here in Springfield, where hey man, I'm up on today's technology. Believe it or not, Lakeisha, I take Uber once in a while. Not very often, but I do when I can get it to work on my phone.
There it is.
That's what you were looking for.
But I've had a talk with the cab companies, and they bring it up to me all the time when I see Mike out, that they're at a disadvantage because we charge them a fee, we charge them permits and that. We don't charge Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft at midnight, if you go downtown at 10 o'clock and then you try to get Uber at 12:01 or even after when establishments are closed, that goes way up. Cabs can't do that. And I've been in Chicago where we've used it, and on the bottom of the receipt, it has service fees or a tax. I don't know what it's called, but I think, you know, we're losing cabs. It's hard to find a cab in town. I don't even know if there's any. I don't know if the big company is still around, Yellow Cab or whatever. But I think that we need to look at establishing some sort of and I don't know what it's called at other towns, if we could look, if someone could do some research on what it does, what other towns do, I think, number one, it would be a revenue piece, but I also think that we also have to look at what we're doing to the taxis, and I don't know if we can prevent Uber and Lyft from jacking their prices way up, but holy cow, you talk about sticker shock when you're trying to get home, that's when you need them the most.
That happens in all the communities.
I know it goes, oh, believe me, in college towns, oh, it's bad. And so,
And you get around.
let me tell you, Knoxville, Tennessee, they stick you. So, but if we could look at that, but I am concerned about the licensing area. I think we need some more inspectors there too. You know, we talk about inspectors, but that's another area. You've got all the bars in town. You've got video, you know, all the dealing with video gaming, the massage parlors, I mean, they deal with a lot of stuff, and they're bringing in $750,000 a year. So, just a thought. I do think we need to look at the taxi versus the Uber Lyft situation.
We'll have OBM do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Williams.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, you know, the taxis are like the phone booths. You know, even the young people today, they're not calling a taxi. They're going to do the Uber, the Lyfts, and all these other versions of those things. So it could be that taxis is just like the rest of society, a thing of the past. I wanted to first thank you, and believe it or not, me and Alderman Carlson are on the same page again. This is getting dangerous. I want to thank you, Director of Community Services, because 9th Street, whether it was Ward 5 or further north on Ward 3, got cleaned up without any negative press and anybody being really upset. And then I was so amazed when the homeless guys themselves told me everybody got serviced. You know, everybody got taken care of. So it showed me lessons learned and that we can do this, and there's a way to do it and be successful, and we were. So I want to commend you and your staff and Shannon, the whole gang, you know, all the way up to Sabo's organization. We got this done, and I just think that's a big accomplishment because it looks good. The properties look good again. All the tents are totally gone, and everybody appears to be okay. So thank you for that, and thank you, Alderman, for acknowledging that as well, because I definitely noticed it. Mr. Chief of Staff, who I don't talk too often, you know, I'm nice to you. At least that's what they tell me. So I'll say, I want to thank you for, we're trying to revitalize our communication and our relationship with our citizens. And my ears is always to the ground with the boards and the commissions. And I've been hearing good things. I have been hearing good things after we went through a real bad bout of resignations and all these other things. There's starting to be some kind of rebuild. I hope you continue. There's still some rumblings in a few of the commissions, you know, and how they're being run or they're not being run or whatever. But I do hear about improvements, and I just want to thank you as well. So you guys are, I guess I read somewhere 2% of the budget, but you guys do an awful lot. And I appreciate you, Mayor, and I appreciate the...
It's not me, it's those great people in front of you right there.
Yeah, your dream team. So thank you very much. All right. Yeah, thank you, Alderman. Mr. Posey in particular, you know, I've heard people in this room that have been spirited and very adamantly said, we're pathetic, we're a joke, we're not empathetic, and I could go on with a lot worse words. And I would be remiss if I didn't say and build upon my two colleagues' remarks. You guys and gals have done a wonderful job. You cared all along. We've been presented with some very bad situations and not pleasant situations. You've always tried to do the right thing, and it is appreciated. Alderman Gregory.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna be, no, I'll just play. No, I echo my colleagues' statements. Corporation Counsel, who I talk to a lot, I definitely support you getting some legal help and legal assistance. You and Katia, I know, do a fabulous job, and I appreciate you always communicate not only with me but constituents who directly, through complex problems. So I appreciate that. I know I ask a lot of questions and stuff like that. He probably need to stay because I ask so many questions, but. I appreciate you for that. I don't try to worry you to death, but I appreciate you. I can't even say your last name, Mr. Billy, but keep up the good work, man.
Fleischly.
I can't get it. I ain't gonna do that to you. But we appreciate you, man, and the young lady. Just keep up the good work. Ethan, man, job well done. I'm happy to hear about the house. I have seen some pictures of it. I'm eager to get over there with you and the mayor and really check it out. I think that's awesome. Happy to see that. And it really, aside from the program and getting that house together, I want to compliment Jermaine Ward. That is a true asset that we have in our city. He's been, on national TV and made Steve Harvey a cheer and stuff, and he's ours. And I hope that we can continue to put him to work and let him continue his fabulous craft that he has. Ward stays in Ward 5, but got his office in Ward 2. The bill program. I love the bill program, and I just hope that this year we can move spots.
Here it comes, man.
That we can move spots south, but honestly, and really connect with SPD and ShotSpotter and really try to get to some of our areas. We've had some areas south of Ash that's had 3-4 shootings, 2 murders, and what has proven to work well is when we get over there, not only our police department go knock on doors and do those things, but also of us addressing trees and alleys and limbs all at one time. There's a nice lot in the area owned by Old Church, crazy enough, but and those constituents would love that because they've taken a beating over the last year in that area, and just my encouragement with that. So happy to see the Minority Business Institute coming. I'm always pushing for people to get knowledge, and I always want more knowledge myself, so I appreciate you pushing that. You got some wonderful partners. I look forward to the beginning and the end of it, and us making sure that we keep pushing those who go through that process. So keep doing your thing. Our homeless outreach team has always done a good job this year, last year, years before. That's a tough, complex situation, and we just got to keep at it. But guess what? The better we get at it, the more people are going to seek Springfield for help, and that's not a bad thing. We just got to keep doing our thing and keep getting funding, and hopefully other cities will catch on at some of the things that we've learned from others. So thank you, I appreciate you.
Chair, may I speak to My First Home real quick?
Yes, Mayor.
Alderman, the My First Home project has taken a little bit more time, as the director pointed out, than we anticipated just getting it off the ground. But in order for us to create new housing opportunities for first-time buyers in our lower income census tracts, it's going to take an investment from the city itself to build those properties or renovate those properties, because a private entity can't take the loss that we're going to take on it. That's what we should be doing. So Ethan has it in his budget to do it again. We're going to continue onward with wards 2 and 3, and hopefully it can go a lot faster now that we've gotten some experience. So, but that is a commitment from this administration, is to put new housing in those lower income census tracts.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And only home ownership. I don't want renters. I want to give people assets.
I'm going through the process. I thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Purchase.
I think I should just say ditto, 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 ditto. I don't want to repeat it over and over, but I want to start with Ethan first. Thank you to my colleagues for talking about my ward, and thank you for helping. I think it was very humbling to see when we had the SIU School of Medicine students being able to walk up to those individuals while we were cleaning up the alleys, and it just seems like it was a barrier that was broken, and they was more open to talking to us and understanding that we were helping, and then following you all doing it. So I think them seeing, and we learned from, I wouldn't call it a mistake, but it was a lesson with what happened. I don't even want to talk about it, but it just helped us to get to where we are today and to learn for how we can do things differently. I think that we're always going to continue to care for them, and actually people are starting to see the work that was already in place, but it just wasn't revealed. being able to have a development taking place over there on 9th Street, being able to have another development over where they were really mad at me when the Sportsman Lounge came down. But it's to help those individuals that's ready to transition, but still just need a little bit of tender loving care and being cared for. So I think you're doing an amazing job. And sorry if I sound like a net at a barbecue sometimes when I say we need to hear what you're doing. We need to hear how we can continue to help you because we are so much stronger together than divided. So there's information that you need to get out. I want to say I feel like my ward takes the most heat for those individuals that's in there and finding ways to connect them with the different neighborhoods. And just a big shout out to Enos Park because they are always welcoming to be able to help and whatever processes you have in place and just trying to be a part of the solution instead of being divided. And that's it for you. And for Corporation Counsel Mordock, I thank you too because I know sometimes I'm always like nagging you like a net at a barbecue too. I know that we're seeing some challenges right now, but it seems like your office, every office needs help and needs more employees, but your number is pretty low. And you are an asset to the administration because we have to have those quality control checks. I'm putting on my IDOT hat now. But being able to go out, Alderman Hanauer just spoke to it, all the businesses, all the gaming licenses, all the liquor licenses. We need to make sure we have adequate hiring. And last but not least, I think having that liaison is what I would say it is. So many people didn't talk, I forgot some of the things I wanted to say. But it was a position where you said that that person would be dedicated to us specifically because we're always hitting you up for like ordinances, what we can and cannot do. Katia is a huge help. I think I'm constantly emailing her a little bit more than you as of now to understand what's going on. I was just in my public works meeting earlier and we were talking about trash cans and I didn't know that we did not have something in place for how many days they have to pull their trash cans back. We have something in place for how long they can go 28 to 48 hours, 2 days before to take it down there. But then sometimes they can leave it out there all the way to the next week because we don't have something in place. And those are things that I'm able to reach out to you or Katia about. But I think having that new position is going to help you a lot more. So I hope that we can get someone to fulfill it and also be able to retain them. I just heard you say that you have people constantly leaving and growing. And a lot of that, as I was talking to some of my colleagues, we're in a tough time right now. We were able to get some of our employee salaries up to meet what the state is doing, but we keep losing employees to the state police. And the different benefits that we have. So there's a lot of balancing that needs to go on, and I hope we're all listening, and people who are always asking questions, this is the time. And then this is the last thing I'm going to pick on everybody about. They always say save that for the end. But giving us a report, you guys laugh at me, but I always say, can we get an update throughout the year so when budget time comes, it's not so much to digest. We got some long nights ahead of us, and it's a lot to process, to be able to ask questions, to also retain this information so when our constituents reach out to us, we're able to understand what we just took in and be able to disseminate it back out instead of doing an email and doing an introduction and saying, Ethan, can you get this one? Ethan, let me know how I went with this one. So just getting a good grip on that, please, 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 this upcoming year, like give us a little bit of future forecast and just some updates. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any further questions of the mayor's team, or the mayor for that matter? Okay, seeing none.
I personally just want to say thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
to each of you. I truly meant it when I said you're the dream team. You work well together. You help each other in need, every department, all of your staff. Please tell them all thank you for me. I know Tony's listening, Katia's here, but there are those that aren't here. Thank you to all of you. You're amazing.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you all. And on that note, you're excused, and next up in a couple minutes is the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau, Mr. Dahl.
Thank you for the kind words.
Oh, no problem.
I can't get you last name.
Yeah, right. Public records, and I have proof to my dad.
I can't say his last name either.
When I tell Siri to call him on right
You guys have anything going on this year?
Yeah, it's gonna be a quiet year for Scott Dahl. He's gonna take a lot of vacation time.
Right, a lot of it, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm trying to get in this winter. I am, because I know in the summer it's not
We'll be
happening.
busy. You don't have.
I think it's fine.
Before I yell at him.
No, I wasn't. Oh, I'm going home. That's one of my events. I know. I'm trying. It's all coming out.
Did you say it's all going down?
Already.
What's the score?
Did you say
Jim?
score?
Jim?
Did you say score? Who's playing?
I think he's listening.
Who's playing?
What's the score? Pre-game, all right.
Illinois? Okay, I figured.
Yeah.
I think Tony said he's ready, but I don't know where your colleagues are.
Wait for one more.
I don't know why they run off all the time.
They have to go to the bathroom.
You know,
Good thing Larry's young. That doesn't
Bring a
happen to
bucket.
him.
I got a bag.
Tony, you ready?
Ready.
Mr. Dahl, you're up.
All right. All right, good evening. Scott Dahl, Director, Springfield Convention Visitors Bureau. To my right is Micah Moran, OBM Fiscal Officer for the Bureau and also for the library. I do have one housekeeping item I need to cover first. I was talking to Director Metzger over here, and she wanted to clarify the home rule with the hotel tax. There's no cap on the hotel tax for home rule. However, to be competitive, we're currently at 8%. We're right around where other cities are at. Matter of fact, Peoria is at 14%, which includes a 6% state hotel tax.
That's high.
Bloomington and Normal at 12%, Champaign 13%, Moline 13.5%, Chicago 17.5%. So our 14% is competitive where we're at right now, and we certainly need to watch that so that we don't lose conventions and meetings to other cities. So I'll clarify that housekeeping item. As for the report, I have a 3-line statement and 7 slides. We'll get through the numbers and move on. So the state of travel and tourism in Springfield is strong. We're finishing up the 2025 numbers, but we're projected to be 13,000 hotel room nights ahead of 2024 and on pace to exceed $601 million in traveler expenditure set in 2023. For 2026, we're indeed looking at a record year. If you haven't heard, Route 66 Centennial, the 100th anniversary, is this year. We've got America 250 also celebrating this year. We'll have a big celebration for that. We got the Shield Sports Park opening up, as you know, to the outside. It's grand opening this year, every weekend booked, not only this summer, but for 2027 as well.
Wow.
And FIFA World Cup is coming to North America, which means a projected 1 million international visitors moving through Chicago, using it as a gateway and going to matches in Kansas City and Atlanta, Georgia. So we are going to be a hotspot for Route 66, certainly soccer, America's 250th, and sports tourism finally comes to town with a new market. As for the budget, our department structure, We do more than just destination marketing. We have a tourism division, that's our visitor center and influencers, media, that handle international travel, international sales. Our sales division, mainly meetings, conventions. Services, we sell them and then we service them. Customer service is extremely important for retention efforts. And then, of course, our marketing division, that's our destination marketing, social media as well. Our workforce has not changed since FY '22. We have 15 staff members on board. That includes our visitor center staff. I just talked about the tourism being an economic engine. These are 2024 numbers, $597 million in visitor expenditures. I noted that $601 million in 2023. So we were flat last year. We came back in 25, and I told you what to expect in 26. $19 million in local tax revenues generated and over and almost 5,000 people employed by tourism in Sangamon County. Our initiatives, pretty simple this year. We've got a big year. Route 66 Centennial projects, we're going to finalize a lot of those projects. We have a few more murals. We have a new lake activation, and I'll just tease you with that right now. I know, Alderman Cox. You'll be interested in that. We'll be adding to the Bob Waldmeyer Route 66 exhibit at the Pharmacy Gallery and Art Space. We'll be looking to open Shays gas station to the inside, so the visitors can see the inside. I know that's been a big request through the years. As far as Route 66 Centennial new events, we have a Centennial 5K. If you're following us at Visit Springfield on Facebook and Instagram, I hope you are, you'll notice that we just announced the Centennial 5K. We have an 11/11/26 celebration at Motorheads. We have the Great Race starting in Springfield, going to Pasadena, California, following Route 66, June 17th through the 20th, starting right here in Springfield. Shout out to the Visit Springfield team, not only for the numbers and the amazing job that they do, but they secured this event 2 years ago, well ahead of most cities even thinking about the Centennial there. So shout out to the Visit Springfield team for the amazing work that they do. American 250th celebration, we talked about that. You'll be more to come on our July 4th celebrations and what's following up with that. Of course, the Shield Sports Bar grand opening, I already mentioned that. It's so exciting to have sports tourism in the city of Springfield for the first time in our history. And, of course, the FIFA World Cup, I mentioned that just a little bit earlier. As for the budget, you'll see that the budget, the variance, down $372,000. So we're about 8% less than we were for FY ¡26. A lot of those projects we were shoring up for Route 66 in FY '26. And certainly when we get to FY '27, we're in the year now, so we're not spending as much in the year as we were preparing for a big, what was our FY '27 or calendar year '26. Personnel service, you can see, pretty much holds the line. Contractual services there, that number is down. That does not include our international grant, which will be a supplemental. Normally, we have that grant done by now, but we haven't received the agreement yet, so we'll be finalizing that and doing that as a supplemental. That's why you see such a variance there. Pretty much everything, all the other line items are flat, if you will. With that, any question on the budget?
Alderman Gregory.
Real quick, good job on your presentation. Excited about that great race. I used to watch that with my mother. I encourage you to, with all this sports tourism coming back, we need to get the Legends in Tourism going again. I think that was a good thing for our city, for people who hosted events in our city.
What was it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It was called the Legends in Tourism Award, something that Scott had done. As a long tournament host myself, it was a great time, and I think people enjoy coming to that. I think people enjoy seeing and learning about some of the great events that they may have not known even while they were hosting their own. Because a lot of times people get into their own mesh and doing their own things, and they don't even realize that other people are hosting great things too. And I advocate that for you, to you. and definitely support a small budget adjustment for you to include some trophies and all that good stuff that make that happen. They did it at the Abraham Lincoln Museum. It was the first time I had ever been there. It was absolutely fabulous. So. Just my suggestion on that. I didn't see anything about History Across the Tracks, but I know you got a presentation coming, so I will hold my comments for that. And just a quick comment about the pharmacy downtown I stopped in there just wandering around downtown. It is in Ward 5, but that is a hidden gem in our city. Really, they got some good artwork in there. Young man in the back, he's constantly painting. Some of that stuff is for sale. It is really a good surprise, and as well as seeing the good stuff in there about Route 66 and being able to look at use that magnifying glass to look at some of those readings. So, great place, great job. I look forward to his Across Track presentation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alderman. And just to touch a little bit more, that Legends of Tourism, that's a recognition program for those that have contributed to the tourism industry locally. And I think the last time was probably 2017, maybe 2016. So, yeah, we'll certainly take a look at that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Cox.
Hey, Director, thank you. Appreciate everything. And you got me excited. You got some get up and go. I appreciate that being the last guy to go, too. I want to commend you and your entire staff and probably other departments. We had a little leak in a hotel across the street. And you guys came through huge to make sure that we didn't lose any conferences. You got people where they needed to be. You found hotel rooms, apparently competitive prices. So you guys deserve a huge pat on the back for that. Thank you for that. And I also, we kind of chatted about it the other day. If you guys don't have especially the gentleman, but lapel pin, the Looking for Lincoln lapel pin, I wear that thing all the time. And people are always asking me, I do get Michael Jordan once in a while, but people say, what is that? I tell them there's this Looking for Lincoln thing in downtown Springfield. It's really cool, well, in the whole city, I guess. And, I mean, it's a great little outreach thing, but, yeah, thank you very much. The Wyndham was my big thing, though. You guys really came through on that, so appreciate it.
Thank you, and I'll add to that I've been in this industry over 30 years, and that was one of the most impressive professional things I've ever seen, is the way that the Visit Springfield team, especially services, Paul Antonacci, came together and they saved all those convention, all those planners from moving out of town, relocated them, provided transportation, provided the services that they needed, and they are back for years to come. And so, very impressive, and thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate that. And it's ironic I don't have that pin on tonight. I have the Route 66, not the Running Lincoln. All right.
Alderman has one for you.
Oh, I have that one. No, I need I always wear the Running Lincoln, so it's funny tonight I don't. Thank you.
Alderwoman Conley.
Thank you, Chair. Scott, I may have an extra Finding Lincoln pin in my drawer.
Thank you.
I actually carried it around in my purse, so don't have as many lapels. I would also just like to add, I think you undersold your team. They really are an impressive group of people. I've heard that from people who've come from out of town, who've worked with your staff. So again, we've seen some excellent offices tonight. Really, I know our chair said let's keep the bragging to at least a minimum, but I also do appreciate that we got to hear about, recognize and appreciate the work of all of the staff that we heard from tonight. That said, we have a really great a bunch of really big events coming together, and if you could just maybe take a minute or two to talk about what sort of outreach you're doing around the World Cup to really highlight the Springfield's, Route 66 connection, because, when you say opening up O'Shea, or the O'Shea garage, I've seen people peering through that fence, like on a regular basis, wanting to get in there and see it. It's a huge deal. Internationally, people abroad love Route 66, and we are going to be inundated with visitors from all over the country. I don't even want to talk about my level of depression that St. Louis and Chicago aren't hosting a game.
No.
That's fine, we'll travel. But can you just talk a little bit about what sort of advertising you're doing around the World Cup and drawing those Route 66 connections?
Yeah,
because I know you've got a plan.
Well, we've been preparing not only for the Route 66 Centennial, but certainly the World Cup, but, for the past 7 years. We've been thinking about this and talking about this for that. And we'll be publishing a list of Centennial events or co-branded events that we will have throughout the city here very, very shortly, a cheat sheet, if you will. But yes, it's certainly the World Cup. We know it's going to be international based, right?
Right.
Not that we don't love our soccer or football here in the States, but we know it's going to be driven internationally. We know that Chicago will be used as a gateway city. And internationally, they come more for Route 66 than Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
They love Lincoln, but they do. And that's what our data tells us. So to compile that 300 miles of Route 66 in Illinois, using Chicago as a gateway, and making sure that Springfield is more than one day, that they're stopping in Springfield. And so we have been selling those, our assets, Route 66, to the world for the last 4 years. That's why we travel internationally on these sales missions, to tell the world and to get these groups excited about being in Illinois, but specifically being in Springfield. Abraham Lincoln, Route 66, a 1-2 punch that most communities do not have. And so, yes, we have been telling the world that. We have been in publications that not only include World Cup soccer fans, but also, of course, Route 66. We have about 75 publications that we put advertisements in every single year. And so, yeah, we've been out there. We've been visible. I think we're ready. I know the team knows that we're ready. And you're absolutely right. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The Visit Springfield team can compete with any city in this country, including the metro areas. And we're
Absolutely.
fortunate to have them right here in Springfield.
Absolutely, hands down. I'd love to also, if I could, I mean, not to give you guys, I know you have plenty of ideas, but I'd love to see some World Cup viewing parties organized. You know, if we could get that coordinated with some of our downtown businesses and give them another opportunity to be open. And again, when you talk about drawing people, not everyone can afford the tickets for all those games.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah, we've had our own sticker shock, but it'd be really fun to make sure that we're emphasizing that. We've got that huge sports tourism draw coming now too that I'm really excited to see. And again, just want to thank you and your team for all your work, because it's quiet. I think for a lot of people, it's behind the scenes that we don't understand how much. I'm on my association's conference planning committee. It's a lot of work just to get those conferences going, and what your team does to juggle all that logistics is huge and impressive, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you, Chair. Director, thank you, and I am so glad that you are very competitive, because I am too. I think that we are doing a phenomenal job, and I love how the chair of our Black Caucus brought up about history across the tracks, because within Route 66, there's a lot of history, right?
Absolutely.
With me also having a property that's in our downtown, I think it's so important to share our history. Like nationwide, the 1908 race riot, the NAACP being formed, that's a whole, I think we are like losing money in that area. I think that people can really come here and understand how that platform was completely brought across the entire nation, just like Lincoln has his history with us for Juneteenth. So I think having the history across the tracks being incorporated, doing some of the things that Alderwoman Conley just said, like having more marketing, doing marketing in that area to come here as well. I'm pushing very hard to have the Green Book as a mural. That's a part of Route 66. For those who don't know, the Green Book is where Black people could go, where they would not get in trouble, where they could get gas, where they could go to the restrooms. So I would like to really incorporate that component along while we're having fun with all the other things that's within that area.
And absolutely, we will do that. We have been telling the route history story for a number of years now. They've been one of our living legends and landmarks. Gene and Stacey obviously be connecting with them. So yeah, we've been telling that story. We'll continue to tell that story. And we absolutely believe it, right? And I think when you see this History Beyond the Tracks presentation and you see the marketing plan behind it, you'll see that we're thinking even beyond that. That we're really bringing everything together. Nice. And that presentation, I think, is,
you know what one of my dreams are? I like all the development that's going on, because you also are missing a huge Black component. I'm a part of Divine Nine. We bring millions of dollars when we do our conferences, when we do them where we can drive and it's our regional conference, and then when we go to our nationwide conferences where they're welcoming us in the airport. Flags are everywhere around downtown. We're shutting down every hotel. It's millions of dollars in just that industry. So I think like some of that great energy that we saw in the sports complex, doing some more hotels and having a big convention center will bring more people here, and it's really centrally located. And so I just know that Black Dollar can come here. I think that's the only component that I see missing, and I just named it in 2 different areas. NAACP has a national awards. How good would it be to have something small here on that type of capacity? Of course, we can't get the awards because it's a lot of celebrities that go to that type of event, but I think that we would be recognized for a lot where how they were even formed. That was a good one, but I wanted to make sure that we keep that in the forefront and in our future forecast. And you know me, I'm a champion to put all that information out too for you.
Absolutely. And it's been on our radar, and we'll talk more about it as we go on.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Alderwoman Notriano, do you want to go before I go?
Oh, sure. I really just had a housekeeping question. Clerk, are you going to have these posted, the presentation documents, on your page?
Yeah,
Okay,
tonight.
perfect. Great. Thank you. That's it.
Mayor Busher.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to give Scott and his team a big shout out. Number one, in the middle of the summer of last year of 2025, Illinois Office of Tourism hosted 100 international visitors here in Springfield. 50 of them started in Chicago, 50 started in St. Louis, and IOT married them here. Visit Springfield threw a party for them at Motorheads. Everybody was international so that they could, they're travel agents that bring their groups here for Route 66 for the 100-year anniversary. And I can't tell you the number of people that I went out there with the group and we entertained, and they said, this is so much fun, we love this place. So you guys did a great job with that. Welcome reception, and I just want to let everyone know what you did there with 100 international visitors. It was great. The people loved it. Second of all, the Great Race in June. If you didn't get to come last year when they came through, they just did a stopover here. Please come downtown in June. You're going to love it. It's amazing. It's a huge opportunity that you guys got for us, so thank you again. And then lastly, well, 2 things. Sorry, the Women's Professional Baseball League is coming in August, so stay tuned because Scott's working on some stuff there so we can help promote that. That's going to be amazing as well for our community. And then I have challenged Scott with some new initiatives I'd like to see, and hopefully those will be forthcoming to you still this year. He's working on them. And I just want to thank you. When I give you a challenge, you're up for it and you're really trying hard. So with the new initiatives, we want Springfield to be a place on the map that it's a really cool place to come visit all the time. And Scott's really working on that. So thank you to you and your team.
Mayor, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. Alderwoman.
Thank you. Sorry, I have forgot one thing. This year at the Capitol, we typically have our Divine Nine on separate weeks in different months. But this year, we are looking to bring everyone together at one time and do one big, huge powwow with the AKAs, the Deltas, the Sigmas, the Alphas, the Omegas. And each of our chapters in every city has almost either 80 to 100 people. I want to really ensure that we have like the adequate hotel space, try to get you all to do a welcome for everyone. I think it's something different that we haven't seen across the entire state. And again, get all of our money.
Yeah, absolutely. Just reach out to our office or give us a contact name. We'll reach out. And certainly when they're sourced through our office, that's the best way to have the best experience because our team goes above and beyond every single time.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any further questions of the director while he's up here?
Come on, Larry, don't you have anything?
Okay, seeing and hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to recess this workshop until tomorrow, Thursday, January 15th at 5:30 PM.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. See you tomorrow night.
always looking forward to this stuff.
You know, there's a lot of great things going on.
See you tomorrow. All right, man. Have a good night.
Are you in budget?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so. We just do budget workshop audio. And then next week. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Lee, how are you? What's going on? Nice treating you well?
I'm still walking around.
Then they treat you great. We both know a hell of a lot of people that we don't see.
You know, I've lost a whole bunch. Even Murray was another one.
Yes.
Kelly Green.
Well, great to see you. Careful out there.
Keep operating under the old system because that's all we do. Hard and control because it's saying they ain't got enough vehicles. The job is too big for the shoes. They may be a Chatham run or a Middleton run or
Hey, Roy.
wherever they're at.
Hey, Roy. I'm putting that in your drawer because they got court in here and they won't be here tomorrow.
That's me and Rockford both.
That's what I'm saying. I'm putting it in between you.
Okay, no problem.
That way they'll be here tomorrow.
All right.